was always fumbles.
Boom! How's it going, comrades? This is Wes, aka Dr. Fomus here with another reaction, guys. And excuse, the look if I don't look all that presentable. Um, I'm actually working from home full time now for my day job, guys. I am so happy. I wish it would mean I could actually record more often, like record more stuff per week. Maybe in the future we'll see about doing that. But it does mean earlier uploads because not only will I be able to record earlier, I will be able to get editing done earlier. So I know before when I first started, I wasn't able to like get uploads up until like around after 11 p.m. And then as I was doing my day job, I believe it was like around 5 p.m. ish where I was able to get the uploads up. But now, guys, you should start seeing uploads as early as like the morning, probably. It depends. Of course, when I'm doing my day job if I'm busy, but like honestly, I would say between a time frame of 8 a.m. to 4. Within that time frame, you should see videos every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, basically. All right. Now, guys, we are here to react to the part two of the ReZero Sloth if story. Now, a couple of quick things before we get into it. I was seeing some comments, which I wanted to address, just because there were some people who were saying that going forward with these what ifs can be spoilery, and there were some people saying no, not really. Um, so I know in terms of with this on the ReZero what if slot, regardless, I'm continuing it because like at this point I'm in it. I need to see what happens next. So if it wants to spoil me, so be it. Now, as for future what ifs, I know one that you guys told me that I can definitely react to, which I'm hearing that like this one's not spoilery at all, is the Lust, I believe, and you even said it's entertaining, I believe. So I'm definitely gonna react to that one after. Now, as for the other ones like Wrath and the other ones, I know some of you were saying that like it can get kind of spoilery because it introduces characters that appear later on during the series, or at least during the manga, which eventually will be eventually adapted into an anime, for season three. I guess that's a slippery little slope there. Because I do want to react to them, but if if there's anything within those what if stories that's going to show me things that's going to be in a future anime, like a future season of this anime, I don't know if I want to watch it quite yet. However, I've been thinking about it, and I'm just thinking like if the only things that I have to worry about is just seeing characters that are going to appear later on, I don't really wouldn't really count that as a spoiler, just because for one, I'm not going to have any reference. I don't read the manga. You guys would know, so you guys are going to be like, oh hey, he's seeing that guy for the first time, like oh my goodness, like but I'm not gonna know. Take Halibo for instance. I don't even know if Halibo is even going to be in season three. You know, like I don't know, or if he's just in this in this what if. You know, now I'm glad if he's in season three. That would be amazing. Don't tell me, of course. I don't want to know, because then now that would constitute as a spoiler because you're telling me. But like, it's impossible for the show to really spoil me per se. You know, if it keeps like things down to a minimum, like if it's just characters that I got worried about. Now if it's a ton of characters, then maybe I might have to, maybe. But if it's just like maybe one or two characters that are going to be in the future, I won't really mind it. Plus another thing too is like, again, like there's no telling when a season three of ReZero is even going to come out. Like maybe something like, because to be honest, if it's like if I don't have to worry about watching season three of ReZero until probably like sometime like at the end of this year, or like like sometime next year, or like months, at least like months ahead, I'm not really gonna worry about it, just because I probably won't even remember the spoiler bits, to be honest. Like my memory is like that of a goldfish, guys. I mean, I have a pretty good memory, but it just depends on what I'm watching, if it's impactful enough. Because, sometimes I have other things I remember that will overlap that. So like it just depends. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave this open to you guys. And just ask you guys, what do you think? If I should I continue, if I don't want to be spoiled, should I continue with these what if reactions? Now, I'm gonna go ahead and give you my thoughts on what do I constitute as a spoiler. If it's something that happens that later on during the series or the manga that happens here, that's a spoiler. Now, if it's just a character, I don't count that as a spoiler. If it's I guess it could be a mini spoiler, but it's not so big of a spoiler. Now, if it's something where it's like, let's say, in this what if story, someone dies, and that person also dies later on during the in season three, or will in season three when season three comes out. That's obviously a spoiler. Or let's say maybe they fight some big bad enemy or something, right? Now I guess that could be a spoiler. If they come across like this big bad enemy or something, and that enemy is also going to be in season three, that could be a spoiler too. So I don't know. I guess let me know. I know I've seen your guys' comments. It's just like some of you seem to be kind of like half react to it, half don't react to it. So I'm not sure. I guess what my question is, I suppose I should ask is, these other what if stories, are they integrated into these future episodes that we're probably gonna have in ReZero? Like for instance, like if I'm watching these what if stories, is it a lot of information that I'm gonna be getting that I'm also gonna be getting when I watch season three eventually? That's what I want to know. So if the answer is yes, if it's like yeah, like there's a lot of information, a lot of stuff that they tell you that you find out during these what ifs that you're gonna find out in season three, that obviously that's spoiler stuff. I don't want that. But if it's just like, it's just basically, because I mean my thing is I didn't think that I would even have to worry about that kind of thing with these what if stories, because I was under the assumption that these what if stories are just that. Like, what if Subaru had taken this path instead of this path? Like two separate things that shouldn't really have much to do with one another. I mean, I don't know. I guess this should just let me know your thoughts. Is there a lot of stuff that will be in season three that's going to be in these what ifs? If that is the case, then I probably will hold off reacting to them for now, and eventually will react to them once I'm done with season three. Just let me know your thoughts, okay? And when I say stuff, guys, I don't just mean like, there's this character that you're gonna meet in season three that you're gonna see in the Wood of Rat story. I'm like, okay, if it's just a character, now it depends. If are they going to be revealing a ton of stuff about this character in the Wood of story? If so, that could constitute as a spoiler. So I guess it just depends, guys. I guess help me out and just let me know. If you guys don't mind, I would appreciate that. So, being getting past all that, guys, let's go ahead and get into this. What happened on the last one? Man, on the last one, we got introduced to Halibo, who's a badass. Apparently, after Subaru ran away with Rem, uh, they he gets a job and stuff, and they essentially finna have a family. They get married. Subaru hits that. Rem gets pregnant. They come across this woman. I think Echidnut calls her I think mysterious bitch. I think mystery bitch. I think that's what he calls her. And apparently she tries to kill him. She tries to kill Subaru. But then later on when they escape, she approaches them again. Only this time she's more docile. So I don't know. Don't know what's going on, who she is, what's going on. Guys, I'm ready to get into this. So, guys, please, though, before we start, if you have not already, go to Echidnut's channel, give him his view for this video, then subscribe to him if you have not, guys. All right. But without further ado, let's get into it. here, Subaru-kun.
Welcome
Sloth.
back, ReZero fans, to the Sloth if
Ooh,
story,
these
also
pictures.
known as the RemIf story. Last video was part 1 where we covered the first 2 chapters of the RemIf prequel, so if you haven't
That's
seen that
right.
video yet, you can find a link to it in this video's
That's another
description.
thing. He did
This
say
video
that
is
each
part 2 of the
chapter
series,
is
and we
a
will be
time
covering
skip.
chapter 3, but before I begin the summary, let's go ahead and do a quick recap of everything that's happened thus far.
Cool.
Rem and Subaru ran away together and got married, leaving Emilia behind to die. Now, as a lot of you pointed out in the previous video, when Emilia dies, Puck is supposed to try to destroy the world. But obviously, the world hasn't ended in this if story, so we can only assume that someone in Lagunica was powerful enough to kill Puck. However,
Okay. It all connects. It all connects. I'm not sure if so. I'm not sure if he started making these videos before or after season 2. Because if he started making these videos after season 2, he would know that Reinhardt Reinhardt kills like in one of the Subaru's visions when he was taking a trial. The I think it was Behold an Unthinkable Present. We see Reinhardt kill Puck. So Subaru leaves, Amelia dies. Puck's gonna go to destroy the world. Because I forgot about that. That's true. If Amelia is dead at this point, so last video I was thinking, could this chick be Amelia? It's not Amelia. Amelia is dead at this point, and Puck is undoubtedly dead too because Reinhardt was the one who kills him. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad I'm so glad I was able to watch this after season 2. Oh my god, that's crazy, guys. All right, we're resuming.
Subaru discovers that Rem is pregnant with his child, and then the two of them share a nice little happy moment together. The next chapter picks up right where we left off.
All right, let's go.
Chapter 3.
3 months.
3 months.
All right.
Are you ready to bake?
Click join, give
Advertisement.
become a channel member.
You know what? I'm gonna watch them.
For customer success,
I think when you watch
and tech sales
ads, like
positions.
doesn't it help
We'll get you
the
job ready
content
in
creator?
just 4
I'm
wins.
sorry. These
This
advertisements are
is
too long.
SV
Come on.
Academy. Apply
Come on.
before it's too late.
All right, just a couple more seconds. All right, come on. Okay, no, skip that. It's taking too long.
After learning of Rem's pregnancy, the happily married couple spent the entire night celebrating.
Yay.
The next morning, Hannibal stops by to say hello, but
He wants
Subaru
to talk
is
to
kind of
Subaru about
upset with him.
something.
But Hannibal goes on to explain a little bit of his backstory. His wolf-human species is almost extinct. He's one of the last surviving shinobi
What does shinobi mean? We're a total warrior specialized in unconventional warfare. Oh, okay, that's he's just giving us the definition
warriors.
of
He
ninja.
knows how to use curses, and he specializes in attacking his opponent's weak points, but he's not allowed to explain how he fights. All we really need to know is that the shinobi were a group of ninjas, and of course, ninjas were Japanese. And by the way, all the buildings in Kararagi have Edo period architecture, which was actually the same time ninjas were prevalent in Japan. So once again, guys, Japanese culture has heavily influenced Kararagi for some reason. Anyway, at some point, Subaru decides to thank Hannibal for saving his life. Hannibal accepts his thanks and then takes a big puff of whatever's in his pipe. But obviously, Subaru doesn't want him smoking around Rem anymore, so he tells him, Hannibal, could you please not smoke tobacco around my pregnant wife? To which Hannibal replies, oh, don't worry, Subaru. This isn't tobacco. Yeah, apparently.
My boy said I'm blazing right now. He says I'm actually high. I'm high right now talking to you. I've been smoking this all day from 8 a.m. to like to now, bro. That's hilarious.
Apparently, Hannibal has to smoke medicinal herbs constantly throughout the day in order to stay alive. Well, at least that's what he says. Anyway, the conversation takes a more serious turn when Hannibal brings up the white-haired woman from the previous night.
Right.
Subaru's first thought was that the woman's another Sin Archbishop of the witch cult, but
I don't
Rem
think so.
tells him that's not the case. Remember, for some reason, Rem can smell the witch's scent, and apparently that woman didn't smell like the witch at all. In fact,
It
Hannibal
did seem
couldn't smell her
unlikely.
either, which is odd because as a wolf human, his nose is supposed to be very reliable. Now, they have no idea when the woman will attack again, so Subaru decides to take a day off from work and spend the day inside the apartment protecting Rem. But there's a problem. It's not like Subaru can just call in sick, so he actually has to physically go and tell his boss that he's taking the day off.
That's annoying. Can't
And
write a letter.
guess who he runs into on his way there? Why are you staring at me? The white-haired woman says. It was broad daylight, so
thought you
Subaru
tried
could
to kill
finally
me.
see her face clearly. Her face was definitely too beautiful to be human. She looked out of place in public, almost like she
I started to pause it again. It's just so I'm thinking this is how she actually looks, right? Because I was looking it up, and this is how I think this is actually connected to ReZero. This picture of her. So I'm thinking this is actually her. I believe. I was assuming that Echidna was just using the likeness of this picture just to like give like a description of how the manga described her, but like no, this I think this is actually her.
instead belonged inside a picture painted by God himself. The woman sighs and says, well, whatever, I guess we can talk on our way to your apartment. Subaru's initial
What?
response was to resist, but
Nani?
he quickly realized he couldn't stop her even if he tried to. She could kill him at any moment if she wanted to, so he really had no choice but to comply. They eventually arrive back at the apartment where they find Hannibal and Rem. Hannibal immediately tries to flirt with the woman, but she rejects him and calls him a mutt. Rem invites everyone inside to talk and offers to make some tea. Rem's politeness appeared to put the woman in a better mood, so she introduces herself. For now, you can just call me Tia, she says.
Tia.
Tia explains that she doesn't want to kill anyone for the time being, so long as they simply return what they've stolen from her. As she says this, she looks directly at Rem. Respond carefully, she says. Yes is the only answer I want to hear. Rem, give me back my light ball.
Light ball?
A strong blade of wind blew past Rem and lacerated the wall behind her. But Rem was much more confused than she was intimidated.
I'm confused. What the hell is a light ball?
She definitely didn't steal anything from Tia, nor did she know what a
I'm sorry, I've just noticed the little mirror in the background. Petra's face.
Confused response. I warned you, she says, as another gust of wind ravages the apartment, showering the walls with cuts and gashes. Luckily, none of them hit Rem, because if they had, she would have been split in half. Also, for some reason, Hannibal stood in the corner watching silently. The previous night, he had protected Rem and Subaru and actually fought the woman, but now he was just standing there, perfectly calm. Tia asks Rem the question one last time. Where is my light ball?
Maybe he doesn't
Rem
sense
still
any
has no idea
attempt to
what
kill
she's
from
talking
her.
about. Tia's anger finally explodes and the terrifying wind magic devastates the entire room. The blades of wind flying randomly around the room had somehow avoided them. It was almost like the attacks weren't actually random and Tia was controlling them manually so that they wouldn't hurt
trying to
anyone,
hurt them.
as if she was just trying to scare them.
She's trying to intimidate them.
Subaru picks up on this and accuses Tia of bluffing. In response, Tia finally gives up and lets out a sigh and starts pouting. Look, I didn't know Rem was pregnant, she says.
Oh,
She
okay.
explains that normally she would have just killed Rem for stealing her property, but because the baby didn't do anything wrong, killing it would go against her beliefs as a Shinigami.
As a
She tells everyone
Shinigami?
that if Rem doesn't give her back the light ball, she's just gonna have to wait until the baby
She's a
is
Soul
born
Reaper?
to kill Rem. Everyone in the room just kind of stares at Tia, giving her weird looks. Her face turns red as she gets embarrassed and starts stomping on the ground, saying, Stop looking at me like I'm crazy. Rem is a thief and I know it.
What?
They all keep staring at her, and Rem points out that Tia's bad behavior was similar to that of the children she teaches at the elementary school. Rem points her finger at Tia and scolds her, saying, Tia-sama, we would like to help you find your light ball, but not until you learn how to behave. Understand? Tia nods her head timidly and quietly says, "Yes, I understand."
Are you for
And
real?
just like that, Rem had easily taken control of the situation, and Tia was now acting like a child awaiting punishment. Rem gets Tia to promise not
sorry.
to attack anyone unless she can actually prove that they took her light ball. But from now on, Tia's gonna watch Rem and Subaru closely and try and gather evidence that they stole it. Meaning that yes, Tia wants to live with Rem and Subaru from now on. Hell no, Subaru says. If Tia's living with them, Subaru won't have any alone time with Rem, which obviously means no more sex.
Oh
Now, as we
no!
know,
There's so much
Subaru
at stake.
absolutely has
Subaru,
to
you
fuck Rem every night or else their marriage might suffer, so there's no way Tia can live in the same apartment as them. They
Stop.
decide to move to the empty
Stop.
apartment next door and give Tia their old one. Meanwhile, Hannibal and Subaru walk outside to talk in private.
Okay.
Now that they were finally alone, Hannibal admits that the reason he didn't protect them earlier was because, as a shinobi, he's able to read people's emotions flawlessly,
He
and
knew
apparently
she
Tia
wasn't.
didn't show any signs of hostility even as she was destroying the apartment. However, she is still quite dangerous and could possibly pose a threat to them again in the future. And because Hannibal can't detect her scent, he might not be able to stop her if she attacks again. So remember last chapter, Hannibal told Subaru he had something important to ask him.
Yeah.
Suddenly the air around Hannibal grew colder as he asked Subaru the question, "Do you want me to get rid of her?" Subaru took a while to answer, but ultimately decides to let her live. He
Ooh.
didn't want Hannibal to play the role of a villain, and because Rem appears to trust Tia already, Subaru decided that he should as well. The cold air coming from Hannibal's body vanished within an instant, and he went back to being the same old sluggish wolf.
I
Hannibal
really
laughed
would
at Subaru
love
for so
to see
easily
this
forgiving
animated.
someone who had almost murdered him, but little did he know, Subaru was actually married to someone who had murdered him.
That's
Rem
true.
walks outside
Very
with
true.
Tia and tells Subaru and Hannibal to come inside and help pick out some clothes for Tia to wear. Subaru and Hannibal
Why
head
are men
back
so damn
inside,
lazy?
and the chapter ends.
Oh, that can't be it. No, I need more. I
Now,
need
the next
more.
chapter is titled 6 months, so there's going to be a 3-month time skip, and I'm excited to see how Tia's adapted to living next door to Rem and Subaru. I thought this chapter was pretty good. It was mostly dialogue, but I was definitely entertained. We got some more information about Hannibal, which is always good, and we finally learned the name of the white-haired girl. Tia is what she's going by at the moment, which I believe is a nickname for Zarestia. I mean, we know Zarestia is a great spirit that uses wind magic and lives in Kararagi, and this woman fits that description perfectly. A lot of my subscribers thought that she was a zombie Amelia or something, but I feel like Subaru would have at least recognized her if that was the case. Plus, if she's a great spirit, that would also explain why she's so incredibly powerful. However, this mystery is far from solved. Even if she is the great spirit Zarestia, why is there 2 of her? A detail I didn't mention in this summary was, throughout this whole chapter, Tia made references to beating up Subaru in the apartment the night before, but she never mentioned trying to kill him in the street earlier that same night. So we can assume she either doesn't have memory of that, or it was someone else. Another interesting detail was when she called herself a Shinigami. Is she actually a Shinigami, or is it just a cool title she gave herself? Let me know what you guys think. And lastly, there's also this light ball we've been hearing about. What is the light ball, and why is it so important to her, and why is she so convinced that Rem is the one who stole it? I personally think Rem is definitely innocent. I highly doubt she stole the light ball. I'm trying to think if we saw anything about light ball in ReZero. Who did? Again, guys, let me know in the comments if you have any theories, but also let me know how you felt about this chapter. We've got a lot more material to cover, so remember to like the video if you want to see this series continue, and don't forget to subscribe so you'll be notified when part 3 comes out. That's all I got for you guys today. I kept this video a little short because I wanted to get it out as fast as possible, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm out for now, though. Keep talking about ReZero, and don't let the Season 2 hype die down. Peace out, guys.
So this is before Season 2. Okay, and that explains why there's certain things he doesn't know yet, because this is before Season 2. Because like this whole thing checks out, because with the whole thing that he was talking about with Amelia and Puck, because he was saying that like he left Amelia to die, and since Amelia died, Puck is going to destroy the world, but Puck didn't because Reinhardt took Puck out. Man, I'm not gonna lie, I love that. I love seeing that. I'm so glad I decided to do this after Season 2. So I don't know, guys. That gets me thinking that maybe some of these other what ifs, maybe I ought to wait until after season 3. I know, again, you guys can give me your thoughts on it to see what you think, but I don't know. I might. It just depends. I know. like I said, I'm gonna continue with Sloth because Sloth's getting really good, and then I'm gonna go into Lust after. As for other ones, let me know in the comments, guys. But so her name is Tia, and she's the wind spirit, Zarestia, and she's referring to herself as a Shinigami, a god of death, soul reaper. Hmm. Um. Interesting. Ball of light. I'm just trying to think back to like seasons 1 and 2 of ReZero if we have seen anything like that. You know? I don't think so. Yeah, man, I can tell I'm gonna love Haribo, man. Like especially the description that Echidna gave when he's like this, the air got colder, and he was just like, "You want me to kill her?" Just like, look, well, down, boy. No, don't worry about it. Don't kill her quite yet. She seems like she's not that bad. Man, like I ain't gonna lie, like this would be so good if like as an oh man, it would be so great if they animated this dude. It would be so great if they did. Oh gosh, it would be so great if they did. I don't know, or I don't know, made a movie or something, like a non-canon movie or something, you know? Like like a what if slot non-canon movie. How awesome would that be? Oh, I love the whole fact, the idea that so she went up to the apartment and like she wasn't gonna really hurt them. She was just trying to intimidate them to give back her ball of light or whatever. And I love how after all that, Rim was just like, "Hey, you're being rude. Okay, stop it." And then she just goes, "All right, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry." Just like, "Oh, okay. That's all it took, huh?" Just a firm hand. Well, then again, though, so this version of her in a white kimono, she seems to be like a more docile version, whereas the one in the black kimono seems to be a more hostile version. So are we dealing with split personalities or a completely different person entirely? She's a spirit, so maybe there's two spirits, maybe of her or something. I don't know, guys. But guys, this is getting good. It is getting good. I cannot wait to do the next one, guys. But I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. Um, like I said, guys, I cannot wait. And guys, again, like I said, as far as the other what ifs, give me your thoughts. If y'all like what you saw, please give me a thumbs up, guys. It helps me a tremendous amount. If you have not already, why not subscribe? I post Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. If you guys have any comments about this video or about anything in particular that is non-spoilery, post them below. I love hearing you guys' comments. Also, if you have any suggestions on which I can react to next, post those as well. And since I have not seen, I will take a look at them. Till next video, guys. I'm seeing nothing but mad love. Stay awesome. Deuces.